You're lying awake at 6 a.m., already exhausted. Another 10-hour shift ahead, another day where the money stops the second you stop working. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you about trading time for money. The moment you stop, everything stops. No work means no paycheck, no exceptions, ever. I was making decent money as a freelancer, but I was literally a human vending machine. Put in hours, money comes out, stop working, everything stops. Want to take a week off for vacation? That's a week without pay. Get sick? No income. Want time with family? Every hour costs you money you'll never earn. I sat at my desk one Tuesday, doing the math. The numbers were brutal. My entire life was trapped in this equation. No hours worked equals $0 earned. You know what that feels like? It's financial prison. You're making money, sure, but you're trading your entire life, hour by hour, just to survive. Then my friend showed me something that changed everything. His rental property statement. While we were having lunch, that property was paying him money. While he was sleeping, money was coming in. While he was on vacation in Hawaii posting photos, rent checks were hitting his account every single month. He wasn't working for money anymore. His money was working for him. That's when something clicked in my brain. I was doing this completely backwards. Think about a bee. It flies around exhausted all day, making honey drop by drop. That was me, working constantly, producing income only when I was actively working. But here's what I wasn't doing. I wasn't building the hive. I wasn't creating a system that produces honey while I sleep. I was just the worker bee, forever. Most people spend their entire lives as worker bees, trading hours for dollars, never building anything that works for them, never creating passive income. Passive income is honey that drips in while you're doing something else, while you're sleeping, while you're with your kids, while you're actually living your life. The wealthy don't work harder than you. They build hives. They create systems. Their money makes money. That's the entire difference between rich and stuck. So I started learning. Dividend stocks that pay you quarterly just for owning them. Rental properties that generate monthly income. Online businesses that sell while you sleep. I built my first hive small, invested in a dividend stock that paid me $4 per quarter, $16 a year. That's one fancy coffee per month. Pathetic, right? Wrong. Because that $16 came in whether I worked or not, whether I was sick or healthy, whether I wanted to work or not. That's the power of passive income. Then I built another hive, created a small digital product that made $20 the first month. Then another hive. The honey started dripping in from multiple sources. Here's what most people don't understand. Your first passive income dollar is harder than your first active income dollar. It requires building something up front. You might work for weeks or months and see nothing. You're building the hive while still being the worker bee. That's when most people quit, right before the honey starts flowing. But once that first hive is built and producing, something magical happens. You can build the second hive faster, the third even faster. Your passive income starts compounding. First month, I made $5 in passive income, barely enough for lunch, but it happened while I was sleeping, while I was working my regular job, without me doing anything. 6 months later, $20 per month. A year later, $150. 2 years in, $800 monthly. All while I was doing something else entirely. The math gets really interesting when you hit your first $1,000 monthly in passive income. That's $12,000 a year you didn't trade your life for. Research from the financial independence community shows passive income doesn't just reduce stress, it fundamentally changes how you make decisions about your life. When you have $500 monthly in passive income, you can turn down overtime you hate. At $1,000 monthly, you can negotiate better terms at work. At $2,000 monthly passive, you have options most people will never have. That's the difference between survival mode and actually having choices in life. Here's the brutal truth. Building your first passive income stream is hard. You're working your regular job plus building the hive. Double work for zero immediate reward. But would you rather work hard for 6 months to build something that pays you forever? Or work hard for 40 years trading every hour of your life for money? 3 years after I started, my hives produce enough honey that I work because I want to, not because I have to. That's not wealth, that's freedom, real freedom. I wake up and check my phone. Dividend payment, $42. Rental income, $1,300. Digital product sales, $68. All before breakfast. That's $1,410 that came in while I was sleeping. Not because I worked harder, because I built systems that work for me. That's the honey dripping in. If you're still trading every hour of your life for money, exhausted and trapped, you need to hear this. The problem isn't how hard you work. It's what you're working toward. Every hour you spend being a worker bee without building a hive is an hour you'll never get back. Time you can't spend with family. Experiences you'll never have. Life you're missing. The wealthy understood this decades ago. They're not smarter than you. They're not more deserving. They just build hives while you're being the bee. That's the only difference. You can start building your first hive today. Not next month, not next year. Today, with whatever money you have, even if it's just $50 to start, just start building. Your first hive might produce $5 monthly. That's okay, because next month it's still $5, and the month after, and you're building your second hive already. In 5 years, you'll either have multiple income streams producing honey while you sleep, or you'll still be the exhausted bee trading hours for dollars. Your choice, right now. The system that changed my life started with $16 per year, 1 coffee per month, but it proved the concept. Money can work for me. I'm not just the worker bee anymore. Stop trading your entire life for money. Start building hives that produce honey forever. Because the freedom to choose how you spend your time, that's what wealth actually means.